A British chap is in the midst of drinking 10 pints of beer a day for a year. I don't know. I kind of admire him.
Holidays are coming, and we have the story of how the king of Christmas beers was born.
Ooh, we are right here at Tröegs Independent Brewing in Hershey, PA. Lou Bryson, Glen Macnow, all new episode of What's Brewing.
What's Brewing is brought to you in part by Monco Maker's Passport. Download your free digital pass and sip your way through Montgomery County. By the Conshohocken Brewing Company, featuring 4 locations and available at beer retailers throughout the tri-state area. And by support from the Pennsylvania Malt and Brewed Beverage Industry Promotion Board and grant funding from the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board.
Hey, welcome to What's Brewing. I'm Glen Macnow, joined by my pal Lou Bryson, host of the Seen Through a Glass podcast. We're continuing our tour of central Pennsylvania. We are at Tröegs Independent Brewing in Hershey. Lou, what an operation.
I love this place.
I'm telling you, it's impressive. If you haven't been out here, get here. We're going to give you a lot of the backstory, but get here. Anyway, it's getting chilly out. It's kind of getting wintry, so we figured let's focus on kind of winter-based IPAs and so on.
It's time.
And Tröegs, I'm starting out with this Tröegs Blizzard of Hops, a winter IPA. A little bit of wheat in the mash, nice stuff. What about you?
I've actually got this, not a winter IPA, but a winter beer. This is the Baby Nader.
Is that what happens if you drink enough?
This is one of those lower, a lower ABV version of Troganator. Their trademark double bock.
So I asked you, is there a definition of a winter IPA? And you you gave me that look.
Yeah.
Give me that look again. Yeah, there it is. All right, but I figured we'd do it for the swap. So I brought you this. This is the New Trail Flannel Weather Hazy New England style. New Trail, what did I say?
You're bringing from my backyard.
That's right.
Okay,
I stole it from you. This is their hazy New England style IPA with Nelson Sauvin hops.
Sure is.
Yeah, it's a double IPA with those nice New Zealand hops, fleshy fruits, kind of white grape balanced dankness. In this case, a good thing.
Yeah.
Keep you warm outside. You know, you go out, rake the leaves, have some of this thing, shovel the driveway.
So what I brought you?
Yeah, where'd you go?
I brought yours from even closer.
Oh yeah, where'd you go?
Tröegs.
Oh, you really did?
This is the Scratch 500. This is a double perpetual IPA.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that proved to be such a popular idea that they're already sold out. I just picked this up last week.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay. All right. So folks, you can't get this, but watch Lou and I enjoy some.
Yeah, we'll
just to whet your appetite. Sure, why not?
Yeah, man, look at the color of that.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Ooh, I like that. It's got so much to it, man. Yeah, that's really nice. This is really good stuff. Okay, so winter beers. Leave aside winter IPAs for a while, right? Because we know what a summer beer is, right?
Right.
Okay. Winter beer, what you mentioned, like different seasonings, different.
Okay, so traditionally spices, orange peel, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But also traditionally big. I mean, barley wine is a winter beer, almost by definition.
We thought about swapping barley wines. But
Oh
I can't
yeah, that
stand
gets
them.
crazy pretty quick.
Yeah.
So it's going to be something that's heftier. I mean, winter beers. The original tradition was it was kind of the brewer's thank you to people for drinking their beer all year.
Yeah.
It was a Christmas present.
Okay, so we're focusing less on those, and again, we're going to look at Mad Elf in a little bit, but I brought you some kind of winter-based West Coast IPAs. This is courtesy of my friend Jim Martin over at Lower Merion Beverage. This is Wrong Crowd Rye Kiss, which is a West Coast rye IPA. This is Funk Brewing. Enjoyed their stuff over the years. Super West Coast style IPA. And
Sensing a theme.
yes, well, it is. The theme is the West Coast IPAs. Yeah. This is Gold Daytona's West Coast IPA from La Cabra.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so West Coast IPA started it all, and we did a show a couple weeks ago on like the rise of hazy New Englands. But West Coast IPAs, did they get left in the dust, left in the past?
They were for a while. I mean, and I hate to sound like the guy who's saying, oh, this is the year of lager. I think West Coast IPA is, I don't know if you can really say it made a comeback because it didn't go completely away, but it got overshadowed by hazy. But yeah, I mean, I'm seeing a lot more brewers doing West Coast IPAs.
Okay, just the real, IPAs for dummies. Difference between a West Coast, the general difference between a West Coast and a New England or a hazy or a NEPA.
I mean, two things. One, clarity.
Yes.
Not clarity. I mean, hazy. They're called hazies.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a yeast thing. It's a hop precipitate thing.
Okay.
The other thing is also related to hops. It's the bitterness. West Coast IPAs are bred for bitterness. Hazies, you're trying to avoid bitterness and get more aroma and flavor from them.
All right, so Lou Bryson,
That's me.
if the world changed and you could only drink one style of IPA for the rest of your life, you can have your hazies or you can have your West Coasts. Which way are you going?
That one, West Coast. That hand over there. I'll take the West Coast IPAs.
All right, now we got to arm wrestle.
I knew it was going to come to this.
Oh, yeah, I'm going the other. You know I'm a fan of the hazies in New England. I enjoy these, but I'm a New England guy.
Yeah.
All right, it is time for our photo challenge contest. We've been doing this every week all season. We've had terrific response, and we're going to be holding a big party over at Ship Bottom Brewing in Swarthmore coming up at the end of November for all of the winners. Information coming your way. And this one, we wanted to see a picture of you drinking beer with a famous person. So we got some entries, and here's the best ones we got. Tom Carver, this is Tom enjoying a beer with Kelsey Grammer, who we learned earlier this year started his own brewery.
Right.
So that's pretty sweet. This is Bill E., known as Jeepman17 on Twitter. He and a couple nice women seem to be enjoying a beer with the great Jay Wright. Who's Jay Wright?
Basketball player.
Coach, but you tried. I'll give you that. Not a sports guy. And finally, this an oldie but a goodie. This is Steve Scalish with the late, great Dutch Dog. It was nice to see all of you are coming to the party. Looking forward to that. All right, coming up, a goofy segment we're going to do. World Beer Drinking Records. Don't try this at home.
Oh, please. Please don't try this.
Lou Bryce and Glen Macnow are at Tröegs Independent Brewing in Hershey. It's What's Brewing.
Okay, fam. Quick stop in Montgomery County, but we have to be at Grandma's by 5 p.m.
Do we have time to stop at the mall?
KOP!
Yes!
Do we have time to hit the slopes?
Skiing at Spring Mountain.
Do we have time for Santa?
If we have time for wildlife at the zoo!
Do we have time for food?
I have a list of 1,800 restaurants.
Yum! Do we have time for an overnight?
I feel like we're forgetting something.
When you spend the holidays in Montgomery County, your other plans can wait.
Honey, call them again.
Welcome back to What's Brewing. Oh, look at this, Lou Bryson.
Yin Yang beer, baby, right there.
Yeah, how about that? Lou Bryce and Glen Macnow. We're at Tröegs Independent Brewing in Hershey, where I am enjoying one of the classics, man, the Sunshine Pills.
I have another one of these kind of Mayfly scratch beers.
Oh, this is
go
so
in
good.
here and then go on. This is the Schwartz beer. It's scratch number 497.
Well, if you drank 497 beers over the course of 50 days, you would almost be keeping pace. With a guy in Britain whose name is John May. He is a 25-year-old dude from Sheffield who embarked on the challenge of drinking, first he was going to drink 2,000 pints in 200 days. Why? Well, here's his answer.
Someone has to. Someone has to prop up the UK economy, and I thought the best way I can try and give some money to the UK economy is to drink a lot of alcohol.
So Lou, he's doing this, he says, to help the economy.
That sounds like a retrofit reason to me.
Yeah. He went past that and decided 2,200 days was enough. I'm going to drink 10 pints a day for a year, which he believes will qualify him for the Guinness Book of World Records. Admire this?
I'm not sure, man. I'm really not sure about this one.
Okay. By the way, he's now monetizing it, of course, because he's on TikTok and
he
has
is.
hundreds of thousands of followers, and
Yeah.
so there they go. By the way, excuse me, he said, I'm too young for hangovers. You can't get a hangover unless you stop anyway. Afterwards, so once he's done, he's like more than halfway through. By the way, look him up, John May, Jon May, on TikTok. If
I
you're
really
so
hope this guy
inclined.
has his own private
or
bathroom.
Instagram. Yeah, well, there you go. That's true. You wouldn't want to work next to. Gotta go. Anyway, they said afterward, is he going to be able to drink a pint again? He said, I reckon I'll give it 2 weeks, then I'll go back to reviewing pints. So I looked up world beer drinking records, and there are some. I don't think you could challenge, but here's what you might want to try. Most beers in one sitting. Everybody remember the great Andre the Giant, the wrestler?
Had to be.
Yeah, so look at, this is a picture of Andre the Giant's hand holding a 12-ounce can. It's like me holding
It's like a thimble, right?
Yeah, really. He was 7 feet 4 inches tall, weighed 500 pounds, and one time in Pittsburgh, he drank 127 beers before he passed out. The staff couldn't move him, and so they left him there for the night. That is believed to be the most in one sitting. Next.
Wow.
Yeah. This gentleman is named Oliver Strumpel. You're seeing the video here. He is a German fellow who works at Oktoberfest. And he holds the record for carrying 29 steins of beer, 132 pounds.
Wow.
40 meters. If you look at the strength of this guy, this is incredible. He said, to train for it, I went to the gym 3 or 4 times a week. That was awesome when I think about it. 200 hours of training for 40 seconds of walking. The record requires you to walk 40 meters and set the beer down without spilling more than...
to set it down?
Yeah,
too?
oh yeah, you got to carry it,
Wow.
set it down, and not spill more than 10%, and he didn't.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
It's
feat.
the setting down part that almost astounds me more than anything.
All right, the next one. Don't try this at home. This is KC Murali, a software engineer from Bangalore, India, who opened 68 bottles, not cans, bottles of beer with his teeth in a minute, staking his claim to a place in the Guinness Book of World Records. He began 6 years ago when a couple of friends dared him in a bar. Listen, I tried this once in college. Right there, crack that little tooth right there. His friends dared him to open it when they couldn't find a bottle opener. Since then, he says he has never used an opener and never sustained an injury. Lou?
No, man. My brother-in-law does this all the time, and we're always screaming at him to stop. I'm not going to feed his... Wait a minute.
Oh, no. Okay.
I really like that beer.
Okay. Most of the speed records for beer drinking are held by an 83-year-old British guy named Peter Dowdesdall, who's one of the great competitive eaters in the world, eaters and drinkers. He holds the record for eating 20 sausages in 36 seconds, 50 eggs in 2 minutes. What movie?
Cool Hand Luke.
Absolutely.
Must have been the stunt double.
Drank a liter of beer in 1.3 seconds.
I don't even comprehend that.
4 pints of beer in 6.5 seconds. It was like, one of those giant, yards of beer. This is him, if you look at this video, drinking a pint of beer upside down in 5 seconds.
Wow.
Stands on his head and drinks beer.
Wow.
Anyway, he's retired from beer. He's 83. He decided to call it a career, but a great career it was. So those are all the beer drinking records that I could find. Fun?
I have one more to add. Oh. So in the 1950s, there was a student at Oxford who held the record for drinking the yard of ale.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was recognized as a world record for the book, and his name is Bob Hawke.
Bob Hawke, okay.
He later became the Prime Minister of Australia, and I'm saying, vote
Really?
for Bob.
I would vote for that
Absolutely.
guy. All right. That was a lot of fun. Hey, coming up, nothing says Christmas beer more than, there you go, Mad Elf. We're going to talk to the guy who designed it, maybe by accident, and why it's been such a great success. We're at Tröegs Independent Brewing in Hershey. Lou Bryson, Glen Macnow. What's brewing?
Hey, Ben. Glenn?
Hi, Andrew Colligan, purveyor of fine Conshohocken Brewing Company beer. I find myself in a bit of a quandary, Andrew. I love Conshohocken Brewing Company beer, but which one is my favorite? Ooh, I do love Type A IPA.
Our #1 selling beer for a reason.
Yes, and Hazy Life Coach IPA. Oh, this one is delicious.
Hazy, juicy goodness.
And wonderful, and who wouldn't love that? Who doesn't love Ring the Bell American Lager?
The perfect choice to pair with our Philly sports teams or anytime.
You know what, I think it's Ring the Bell for me, but Now the question is, what's the right quantity?
I think I might have something perfect for you. Ring the Bell 12 packs.
Why, you've nailed it! Now available in convenient 12-ounce 12 packs at any beer store near you. This is wonderful! But how will all of this fit on the back of my horse?
Hey, welcome back to What's Brewing. We are at Tröegs Independent Brewing in Hershey. I'm Glen Macnow. This is Lou Bryson. This is John Trogner. He is founder, owner, brewer, floor washer, brother here at Tröegs. And we're going to talk about Christmas beers, and we're going to get into the king. First, I just want to show you a few that I found that I like. This is the Victory Merry Monkey, good stuff. This, my friend, I think I'm going to share this with my sons. Samuel Smith's Winter Welcome Ale. I enjoy that. And this, I don't know, man. Left Hand Brewing Candy Cane Peppermint Nitro. Would you?
I love Left Hand, so yeah, I would totally dive in.
Okay, well there you go. But the king of them all is Mad Elf. It has been for a long time. This is an iconic beer, and we want to talk to you kind of about the history of this thing.
Yeah.
Before we get to the history, I want to talk about the iconic part, which is, my understanding is that people will like travel across the country to knock on your door for this good stuff.
Every year, my favorite part of ELF is to help 10 to 15 cases of beer into the back of Grandma's trunk. It never fails that I happen to be walking through the general store and this giant pallet of beer is rolling out and someone needs help getting in the car.
I remember the first time for a short time, you had magnums of Mad Elf, which were insane and amazing.
3 liters.
Yeah.
Wow.
I came in the brewery and your brother, Chris, told me, yeah, somebody just bought 10 of them. I'm like, 10 of them? Said, yeah, they were for office parties. She said she didn't like beer. I was like, what the?
Can I age them? Can I save them?
You can.
Yeah?
Yes. We do a lot of verticals with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many years would be?
5,
okay.
6. I mean, I've had 10-year Elf.
Okay, and it works.
I don't
but
know
you would stick with 5, 6.
I would, yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about how it started, because my understanding is the origin of this thing in 2002 didn't exactly go entirely smoothly. How did you? It was you and your brother.
It was.
Yeah. How'd you conceive this?
I mean, so the original recipe came from Chris and I and a couple other people were making variety cases. And when you make variety cases, you're hand packing bottles into a box, and you go numb. As that was happening, we got a delivery, and the door rolls up, and we had to pull out these big oak barrels that were destined for a winery. Mm-hmm. We pulled out what we got for our delivery, put it back in, and then went back.
Oh, the barrels weren't for you.
No, they weren't for us.
Oh, I've misunderstood that all these years.
It got us to dream about what we could put in barrels like that.
Gotcha.
So we were dreaming about a recipe that we could brew to go. We love lambic beers and we love fruit beers, and cherries being a strong part of central Pennsylvania, we just kind of started thinking through recipes that could be. And then it was during the holiday season, we were thinking, well, what do we need to make it through the holidays?
So it was entirely self-motivated.
It was a little. I mean,
yeah, I got
all
it.
of the recipes are.
Yeah. What do we like? Yeah, I get it.
I mean, I know that's a little old school to say it that way, but like
entirely reasonable to me.
We love.
Yep.
And that's how it makes it out in the
All right.
world.
So you combine the cherries and the yeast and the malt and everything else, and you decide to let it go. And I'm told that a couple days later.
It wasn't even a couple days.
Oh, really? Okay. So what happens?
No. So we brew this beer, and the yeast is ferocious, and we didn't realize this. So we came in, brewed it on a Friday, came in on a Saturday to give tours. So we walked in, and I smelled cherries.
Yeah.
And we knew.
Yeah, that's
something
not
was wrong.
good.
It was really strong because it wasn't like next to us; it was out in the warehouse. So we rolled out and we checked out. As soon as we came out, there was beer everywhere because it had not really blown the tank, but kind of blown the tank and just spat all over the place, which is kind of fun. So now the entire, not really.
Yeah, not really.
So we got half of what we planned out of that batch.
Yeah.
And this was a silly beer, like 11% ABV, Belgian yeast, cherries, honey. We didn't think anyone would really be into it. But
Really?
Well,
What is the matter with you? Are you serious?
2002,
Listen to what you just said.
2002. But like,
Okay, but wow.
it hadn't been a beer that had ever been done. Like, it's just
Okay.
not a thing.
Wow.
Now it's a thing.
So we got about 2 minutes left. Like, at what point did you know, like, oh, this is going to work?
We put it on tap and it sold out right away, and people were asking for it all over the region like the next day. So that's when we knew, like, oh, what, we tapped into something.
Wow.
I don't know why or how, but we did.
Yeah, why, Lou, why and how?
Have you tasted it?
Yeah, no, but
No, seriously.
yeah, okay,
But
so
how? I don't know. I don't know how people got the word out that fast in 2002.
Yeah, it was. I mean, internet was there, but it wasn't there.
Yeah, right. It must
So,
have been email and phone.
People
But
would
it
call
was
around
that-
to the beer distributors asking for the next year. We came out with
Yeah.
bottles, and people were calling around.
And so now, let's close with this. So you've done some varieties of it.
We have. So we did the naked version. So we stripped it down.
Is that what happens after you drink 2 or 3?
That too.
You know, Bob the uncle does something.
I got that guy, yeah. Right.
Yeah, there's always a story every year we hear that's fun. We do variations. We do a Grand Cru where we bring in different cherries and it brings more acidity in. And I'd love to do a Jägermeister version where we...
I was afraid you were going to bring that up.
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
I hate to say it, that sounds like the end of a night at a frat party. I got some Mad Elf, I got some Jägermeister.
Let's try that.
Yeah, what the hell?
What could go wrong?
When does it hit the market every year? How late does it go? You know, kind of the parameters of this thing. And how much do you sell?
The
if
parameters. So we hit it in October. Draft is right before Thanksgiving. And how much do we sell? We sell enough to be on hopefully everyone's Christmas table.
Right. The answer is you sell all of it.
I hope to sell all of it.
There you go. Well, listen, it is a brilliant beer. It's an iconic beer.
Cheers.
I love it, and
Thank you.
we thank you for making it. He's not going. I'm sorry.
No,
there you
you're
go.
hanging there.
I want it down. He's not going anywhere. We're going to talk more about Tröegs coming up with Lou Bryson. I'm Glen Macnow, John Trogner here at Tröegs Independent Brewing in Hershey for What's Brewing.
So, what do you want to do today?
Today, I want to run. I want to skate.
Thank you.
I want to see a show. I want to play. I want to eat, like a lot. I want to sleep in a hotel. Can we do all that?
We can do all that and more.
Welcome back to What's Brewing. You know we're at Tröegs Independent Brewing in Hershey. What a great place this is. Huge, beautiful, great beers. He's Lou Bryson. I'm Glen Macnow. So I'm drinking the Tröegs Perpetual IPA, which is a great. Tell me about this beer there, John Trogner.
So Perpetual, that's our flagship. That's what keeps the lights on. That's what makes me wake up in the morning. So we have Citra, which has a nice grapefruit flavor.
Yeah,
and a little
great.
Mount Hood, which makes it spicy.
Nice. What about you, Lou?
I have Tröegenator, the double bock that, wow, this kind of makes my day whenever I have one. It's a classic double bock, dry malt, beautiful.
All right, so John, we know you love both your children, all your children, excuse me. We assume you love all your children.
All my children.
But, which way?
Boom!
Yeah, so Tröegenator, this is the end of the world beer, death row beer, desert island beer, or just at the beach. That's how I'm gonna roll.
We want to talk to you about a couple things while we have time here, and one of is the Scratch Series, and Lou brought out one of the, I think it was the number 500.
500.
Which suggests that was the 500th beer of the series. Explain what that is and where we are and what people can get.
Sure. So we like to share our work, or really when we start creating and learning, we want to share it with anyone that comes in and wants to try it. So anytime we come up with a combination of ingredients or techniques or recipes, that becomes a scratch beer. That's how we...
Really?
So it's kind of like Ford Motor Company's racing program? Just trying new stuff?
Not just trying new stuff.
Okay.
We pointedly look at what we're aiming at, and then we break it into components, and we break it into components that we want to understand. And when we do that, we try hops, we try malts, we try yeast, and share that work.
And how often do you come out, like how many of those do you do a year?
Well, we're at 500.
Yeah,
But,
that's what I was thinking, that's a
so
lot.
Most recently, we try to do one a week, Now, I will say baked into that is an R&D program before it becomes a scratch. So we'll probably do 6 to 10 recipes before it even graduates to a scratch.
And that's an even smaller system, or
it's a little tiny little baby system.
Okay.
So most of those available here at the tap room. I know the 500 was canned. How many?
All the scratch are available here.
Right.
Generally just here though, because it's like a mayfly. It's born and gone tomorrow.
Have you ever discovered something great by accident?
Not very often. One time, someone dry hopped Perpetual twice, and we were like, that's really good. But other than that,
that's interesting.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
I bet you that poor guy's thinking like, oh God, I'm going to lose my job. But wait, try this.
I don't know if they admitted it. I don't remember. That's as the legend goes, they didn't.
Yeah, I find it hard to believe that your records keeping system didn't note that, but okay.
That's how we figured it out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So people come out here. Your tour has won like best brewery tour several years in a row, or
like 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone
but who's counting?
Our tour was really good, and we won that award 3 times.
Yeah. Good. So we should do that.
We should do
hours of the tour. Do we know?
Hours of the tour?
Yeah, when people come.
I
can't show up at midnight on a Thursday.
No,
right?
but if you go on the lines and go to Tröegs.com.
Go to the internet's thing.
And
there you go.
It's usually Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay. What do we look forward to? What beers are coming out?
Ooh, what beers? Mad Elf is out right now.
Yeah.
We have
so there's a nice
variety,
cookie, something?
Variety case coming out with a gingerbread cookie stout. So if you want to.
Lou, I would definitely get into gingerbread cookies. I would definitely enjoy that. And the variety packs are great. Do we have a variety pack around somewhere?
We do.
Yeah, we do. Tell us about the variety pack.
So variety.
I know it's mind-numbing when you were putting them together back in the day, but they are great.
It still is. I was doing that this morning, and so we have Mad Elf Perpetual, of course, because that's the beer that it's all about. Naked Elf, which is a stripped-down version of Mad Elf.
What is that? You said it before, but I don't exactly know what it is, other than I have this picture in my brain that I now can't get rid of.
Exactly. So if you take out the cherries and take out the honey and chocolate malt, you're left with a nice malty beer with a Belgian yeast that has kind of a cinnamon clove spicy flavor.
Nice.
And then, of course, to celebrate winter, it's Blizzard of Hops. Like, that's the beer that's out, like, rolling out right now.
Yeah, enjoyed that. I forget which one that is. I think that's this.
So many beers.
So many beers.
Yeah, that was good. Listen, these are all great, and the Mad Elf, it's just for us to come out here and enjoy some of this with you was really special. You got a great thing going.
Thank you.
We really enjoyed our time here. Lou, I'll see you next week, I believe. Everybody, thanks. And the people who came out today, give yourselves a hand.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll see you next week on What's Brewing.
What's Brewing is brought to you in part by Monco Maker's Passport. Download your free digital pass and sip your way through Montgomery County. By the Conshohocken Brewing Company, featuring 4 locations and available at beer retailers throughout the tri-state area. And by support from the Pennsylvania Malt and Brewed Beverage Industry Promotion Board and grant funding from the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board.